In this video, we're going to recycle a Foley kit. First, you'll get the box and then put the actual Foley bag, Foley in here with the specimen container. Put on the tray. In the tray, you'll put a Foley syringe. It usually says catheter only on it. Then we will add a lube packet, 3 pack swab sticks, a Fenestrated drape. It is angled here because when you unfold it, it has a hole in it. Then we will add a drape. Those can be blue or white depending on what we have in stock. And a pack of sterile gloves. The next step is to fold all this over the kit. So we'll bring this end over and then bring in the sides. Using 2 hands is much easier because you can tuck this in and make it tighter. You have both sides pulled in and everything tucked in tight. Then you will bring this end and tuck it into there. We will tuck that in. And then the next step is to bring the paper, put it on top, and then we gotta slide it into its packaging. And then the way they like for it to go, if you have this packaging still, this is not for human use and training purposes only, the label is gonna actually be on top of this part, and I'll show you why here in just a second. So once you've placed the Foley box inside of its wrapper, the sticker is gonna end up on top, and then you will double side tape right here and fold that over. And this looks upside down, I know, but the reason why, so when the students unfasten it, they will pull it out like this, and then it won't be upside down. If it's the other way around, when they pull it out of the packaging, this part's upside down and they can end up dumping everything out, which then breaks the sterility of it. So here is all the pieces to the Foley kit. You have the product label, the packaging. This is a blue drape. It could also be white, but it's a small drape. This is a fenestrated drape. And when it's folded, you usually see this angle here. If you were to unfold this, it would have a hole or a triangle cut in the middle. A pair of sterile gloves, a 3 pack of alcohol swab sticks, some lube, and then a Foley syringe. Important about the Foley syringe is to make sure that it's full of alcohol water, and then it has to be a slip tip. So the end of it has to look like this. If you're recycling these, make sure this isn't broke off. Then you'll have this tray. The label there isn't super important, but if you have it, you can put it there. So there's the tray. You have the box. A lot of times this is out after the students have practiced with it. And then there's a specimen container. And then this is the outer wrapper. So the Foley bag will go down into the box. You kind of fold it over into the box. Curl the tubing on top. It needs to be on top. If this is available, put this over the end. If it is not, it is okay if we leave that off. The specimen container goes in the box. Okay, a couple of things I do want to note about recycling the Foley kits is the balloon on the end. It is helpful if we do push some fluid in there and test that out to make sure that it's not busted, because sometimes they do bust over time. The other part is the port in which the syringe is in. Sometimes the students break off the tip of that syringe into the port. So it would also be good to make sure that you don't see any broken pieces down inside this, and that this is still intact, and you don't see any syringes with these broke off. Specimen container always goes in the box. The plastic tubing always needs to be curled on top of the Foley bag. The fenestrated drape has to be a fenestrated drape, a drape that has a hole in it when you unfold it. The sterile gloves need to be packaged in a paper wrapper similar to this, We do not recycle these ourselves. You take these off the shelf, take the factory wrapper off and put that in there. The lube, depending on the brand we have, may look a little different, but it's always a little lube packet like that. So the important things are to make sure the outer wrapper is folded neatly and that this label is over the top of the folded and creased side. So basically the back side that's pretty is the side facing outward. And then it's important that the students, when they pull out the Foley kit, that they're pulling it out with the folded inside up top so that when they pull it out, all of their content doesn't fall out of the box.